Now, Wachakoyo said that my brother, that we planned bangi for export. I don't know how we will protect people from picking it for smoking, what mechanism we shall have when we plant it so that it is not for smoking. But let me tell you that one of the principles of taxation is simplicity. Simplicity is a key principle of taxation. And simplicity in two ways. One, how you calculate it. It should be understood by the taxpayer that this is how tax will be calculated, and he can even calculate himself or herself and pay voluntarily, because it's very simple. And the second one is how you collect it, because you have to look at the cost of collection versus the tax itself. Because if the collection is very expensive, more than even the tax itself, then that's not a good tax. So if you look at this taxation, they are lowering the threshold for turnover tax. It means there will be so many people in that net. Even Mama Mboga will be in that net. Then how are you going to collect that tax? Will you go around harassing Mama Mboga, collecting it? So that is going to be an issue. But ladies and gentlemen, remember, you are talking about Ruto, and I've said here even before, these are not Ruto's proposal. You know very well who put Ruto in power. These are the people who are telling him that if we have to keep you in power, to continue in power, this is what you should do. And we shall continue supporting you so long as you do what we tell you. That's all. I don't think even Ruto has read this taxation bill. I don't think. It is just being imposed on him. And as you go through it, remember that. Now, the finance, our economic committee was here. There is an issue that I picked up in the finance bill, that they are making a proposal to zero rate VAT on acquisition of going concern. Companies that already exist, that if you come and acquire that company, you will not pay VAT. Who are these people? You know, you acquire a company when you are rich. So if you are a rich man, you are coming to acquire Kenya pipeline. Why should I exempt you from VAT, zero rate VAT that you are going to pay? It means, and you remember, it means already these people are now targeting these companies to acquire them cheaply. Because how do you attract even investors to come and acquire already the existing company? You attract investors to come and invest in new ventures and not going concern. Because going concern, they are already there. So note that. And I think that should also be picked up. Now, I have a friend of mine who is in Uganda. He's a Ugandan, but he has stayed here in Kenya for a long time. So he sent me a message this morning, and I want to read to you. He's saying, let him pass the finance bill as it is. What is wrong with you people? You have to let him make mistakes. That should be your strategy. If you help him to make good decisions, how will you remove him? You are supposed to make a little noise for record purposes, that you post it, but don't make it too strong. He will correct the mistake then. What becomes of your talking point? And this is my last shot. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, allow me, before I invite Sheikh Juma Ngao to make the final prayer, to say this, because the media have been asking if at all we are going to come up with any amendments. The answer is that a lot has been said about this finance bill, and the public has overwhelmingly rejected it. And in our view, this bill is flawed beyond redemption. So we are going to reject it in total. We are not going to propose any amendment to it. As Azimio, we have said time and again that there is still time to withdraw this bill and bring it back in a form that is responsive to the plight of the people, in a form that is acceptable. But our plea has fallen on deaf ears so far. So if this bill finds its way to the floor of the House in its current form, we are not going to make any attempt to propose any amendments to it. We shall be moving to reject it in total. And in any case, there has been the argument that if the bill is rejected, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Life will continue. Because as we speak, there is a Finance Act 2022, which is in place. You reject this one, it will continue to work. And therefore, the notion that the matter of this Finance Bill 2023 is a matter of life and death is not true. It is simply a mere bill, which we have said is flawed, is not acceptable, is overburdening Kenyans who are already on their knees, and therefore the only logical thing to do is to withdraw it. And therefore, with those few remarks, let me invite the Sheikh Juma Ngao. Yes, as he comes, I've got an apology, of course, from the Honorable Wamalwa, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, the leader of the DAP Kenya, who was elsewhere, though he's on his way, but he may come late. Thank you. Karibu Sheikh Juma Ngao. And you pray.
Assalamu alaikum.
And without much ado, I'll call upon my brother, His Excellency, Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka, even to offer greetings. Much has been said. You are not being asked for much, just greetings.
Asante, you done it so well. I didn't want to add anything because our brother Raila put it so well, so eloquently. I think this has been actually a learning experience for a lot of us. And I want to thank our Economic Council team. Now, Kenyans know the difference between zero rating and exemption. And that is where the big lie is. And I think that has been unpacked, thanks to Honorable Badi and the colleagues. Last Sunday, I was in a church somewhere in the river, in Mulolongo. And I spoke about the skepticism at my level with people wanting to rush to court. Everybody is within their rights to rush to court, but we have also heard from our sister Caroline Karugu on the provisions of Article 48. My brother, who is also a very good friend, Wajakoya, will probably agree, and Mother, denying people access to justice as unconstitutional. So some people rushed and said Kalonzo is supporting the finance bill. My media team did a very good job of that disinformation. So you can see the level of panic. People are panicked because they're doing the wrong things. So as I said, we are ready to go. Our teams are very well. A leader in Parliament is here, a leader in the National Assembly, and the leaders, of course, the matter is not going to the Senate, so it's all National Assembly. So Wandai and the teams, I'm sure you are equal to the task. You want me to call some other friend? Yeah, I'll probably call my brother, Governor Iria, who has lived through this. But before you come, Iria, it appears to me, over and above all this, taxation, there's also the Kanjus. You know, the county governments are also doing their own taxation. So look at it. That's why I said you cannot develop an economy this way. And those who have been following even the debate on debt ceiling, for me, I find that completely unacceptable. The issue about debt ceiling had to get President Joe Biden leave the G20 or the G7 summit in Hiroshima, in Tokyo, to go back and make peace and argue and agree with the House Speaker of Congress, because America was at the verge of breaching even the debt ceiling thing. So this debt ceiling matter cannot be hidden. It must be brought to the fore so that Kenyans will know you cannot extend the debt ceiling without the full involvement discussion of Parliament. So hiding it under some funny clause that we just been told, I don't know who made that presentation, that the cabinet secretary responsible for finance can just go and lay on the table some information, and then the country then assumes that all is well. So I think in a nutshell, we are in a crisis, and we need to be able to accept that this is a crisis matter. And then, as my brother said, the conclusion was very clear. We give it to the public court. I don't know whether it's you, Kioni or Wanjokoya or Mwangi. Mwangi, you had stood. As I said, I had nothing useful to add. That's why I was muttering around. But I hope I've managed to clear some issues. Thank you.